Proposed changes to surrogacy laws will recognise the legal rights of intending parents. It's one of 63 recommendations made by the Law Commission around New Zealand's surrogacy framework. While not allowing it to happen commercially, it says surrogates should be compensated so they're not out of pocket. Fertility Associate Wellington Medical Director Dr. Andrew Murray says cutting the legal red tape is a huge win for couples.
The thing that will be welcomed the most by intending parents is their legal right as the child's parent are going to be recognised and that they don't have to adopt.
China's being told it shouldn't take Pacific Accord for granted. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is set to meet with Pacific nations in Fiji today to discuss an economic and security agreement. New Zealand and Australia have concerns China's aiming to expand its access to the Pacific. But Otago University international relations expert Robert Patman says this doesn't give island states enough credit, and some are wary of China's intentions. There's been a 177% jump in the number of young people taken to hospital emergency departments for a mental health crisis in the past decade. Shannon Johnstone has more.
A government briefing document obtained by our newsroom shows specialist mental health services are so underfunded and understaffed that they can't keep up with growing need. Identified concerns include that the number of young people seen by DHBs rose 35% in the decade, but funding for the infant, child and adolescent mental health service only grew by 25%.
The country's road policing boss says interlock devices are helping to cut the number of drink drivers on our roads. More than 11,000 drink drivers have had one installed in their car since laws came into force in 2017. National Road Policing boss Steve Greeley told Open Justice, when they're used properly, they prevent somebody from driving who may otherwise have made a bad decision. The Prime Minister's continuing her charm offensive across the US, attempting to woo Americans to holiday in New Zealand. Jacinda Ardern has told a business audience in Seattle that Kiwis love nothing more than showing hospitality to guests. And now the borders are fully open to all tourists. She's hoping to see an influx of new visitors arriving on New Zealand's shores.
We're not complete unless we can show our hospitality to others and our manaakitanga to others. And that's why it's incredibly important to us.
And the Chief Executive of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Chris Seed, has tested positive for COVID-19 in San Francisco and will be isolating for 5 days. He can't be part of the meeting with the President on Wednesday. His deputy, Rosemary Banks, will take his place. Some new names on the rich list. South Island property developers Chris and Michaela Meehan and Hawke's Bay farmers Mark and Paul Apatu are among the latest additions to this year's NBR Wealth list. The Meehans rose to prominence last year with the public listing of Winton Capital, which raised $350 million in an IPO in December. Their net worth is estimated at $600 million. The Apatus enter the list with $120 million thanks to Apatu Farms, which produces vegetables from a 2,500 hectare block of land. Graham Hart remains the richest person, while Sir Peter Jackson and Dame Fran Walsh join the Billionaire Club.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.